Coming up next here on CT Sports Now, the elusive touchdown catches.
Oh, some big games tonight, and we'll bring you action from all of them. Yeah, this one from the SEC as Fairfield Prep tries to stay in the playoff picture.
Can you catch a greyhound, or can you tackle one? We'll find out. All the high school football from around the state coming up next here on CT Sports Now.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to CT Sports Now. I'm Noah Finns. He is Mark Robbins. We're coming at you from our studios at Sacred Heart University. We have a lot of football to get to, so we don't have a lot of time to kibitz here. We got to get right to it.
We don't have a lot of time, but it's a very exciting night. You know, we talked about big matchups.
Yes.
We previewed them during the week, and we had them tonight. And the very first one we're going to talk about, a couple of squads undefeated in the top 10 at East Hartford. The Hornets hosting Southington. They played a fantastic game a year ago, a last-second finish for those guys who won it. There's Raquan Tompkins. He is warming up. Who's he warming up with? His head coach, Rick Milton. I mean, you don't see that too often. It was not a great night for Raquan, who arguably could be the best and might be the state player of the year, but the defense for Southington all over him. John Miller with a sack there. And when he was able to throw the football, the tip drill in action, Josh Beatty with a big pick as the Blue Knights were swarming all game long. Now, it took a while for the Southington vaunted passing attack to get going. Jacob Drina here to Jamie Lamson. Now, this is impressive, and it's a big gain. It comes with a minute to go in the second quarter, and it's the first completion for Southington in the ballgame. But the Blue Knights were efficient in this drive because 2 plays later, Drina to Jacob Flynn, and that tied the game at 21. They went into the locker room that way, tied at 21. They came out and played most of the third quarter, tied at 21. Finally, some scoring, but after the cameras had left, fans were there to see it, and they see Southington get the victory. So the Blue Knights, with a 42-27 win, now 7-0, as they move on to next week. Enfield, East Hartford 6-1. They might meet again in Class XL. You never know.
Well, no game's bigger than this one, huh? How about Newtown, Bunnell? Both teams coming in 6-0, both looking for SWC championships. Opening kickoff, Newtown makes a statement. And then so, Tucker Garrity. Oh, he's not going to be 65 yards, and that's how Newtown opens this game. So Bunnell, like that, has the wind taken out of its sails, especially on the next Newtown possession, when Dan Mason, and let's face it, nobody in the state has been able to stop this guy. 12 yards out, nobody stops him again. And so Newtown off and running, and the Nighthawks do it again. First drive of the second quarter, Luke Melillo, look how he keeps the play alive. He could have gone down 2-3 times, hops out of a would-be sack, puts it up for Shea Talbot, touchdown. Newtown dominates to stay undefeated. 48-8 is your final score. Newtown travels to Brookfield next Friday. That'll be another doozy. Bunnell, suffering its first loss of the year, hosts Bethel next Friday, which will be senior night.
No other top-ranked team in the state. The Blue Wave coming out of a blue fog, hosting Trumbull. The visitors won the coin toss and took the football and tried to capitalize. Nick Colton to Malik Green, breaking free, finding some open green. Getting deep inside Darien territory, setting up a short field goal attempt, but the Blue Wave swarming in, and they come up with a big block. We go to the second quarter. This game is still scoreless until the very first play. Peter Bradall getting in, and it's a 7-0 lead for Darien. Trumbull and Colton and Corey Osborne. Oh, no, he didn't. What a fantastic grab for the first down. And then Colton to Kyle Atherton. Oh, we got a ball game. We are tied at 7. Is there a possibility of number 1 going down? Well, it was close into the half, but Darien would pull away and give the Blue Wave cheerleaders a little bit to cheer about in the second half. Darien does get the victory. Pretty game Trumbull team, much closer than the 42-13 score would indicate. Darien at 7-0 will play at Wilton next week. Trumbull goes and will host to Westhill a week from tonight.
All right, this game not nearly as close, Mark. St. Joe's against Bridgeport Central. From the 40, St. Joe's Darren Warren on the screen pass. And that's a nice cutback move. And once he gets to the sideline, nothing's going to stop his speed. He's in to give St. Joe's the 7-0 lead. St. Joe's looking for more. David Summers. We just saw him in one of our Talented 10 features. Well, he launches one up for Will Diamantis for the touchdown. And St. Joe's starting to run away with it. Speaking of running away, well, you got this kid, Jaden Sheridan. He can run away from everybody. Little draw play. He's going 30 yards on the cutback move. He's in for the score. And St. Joe's goes on to win it 49-0. St. Joe's travels to play Staples next Friday. Central travels to Stamford next Saturday.
All right, more high school football to talk about, of course, and one of our correspondents, Daniel Zampano, with another one of those unbeaten top 10 teams and a test along the shoreline, right, Dan?
A test, I mean, if you could call it a test, I guess so. But Daniel Hand, they really do believe that they deserve to be in that number one team in the state conversation. They're ranked number 3 right now, and they had a game tonight at the Surf Club against a lawman of law, and doing it for a good cause. This is the second annual Pink Paw game. All proceeds going to Smiles for Smilo. Everybody wearing their pink tonight as part of their Stand Up to Cancer. Raised a pretty good amount of money, too, and if they had $100 for every point that Hand scored tonight, they'd raise a heck of a lot more. Let me tell you about that. Phoenix Billings, here we go. He connects with Ian Butler, and we're off to the races. Gets inside the 10-yard line. Billings had 258 yards passing. In the first half alone, a play later, Colin McCabe, all this kid does is score. Every time we're at a Hand game, he just seems to get in the end zone. A 9-yard touchdown run. It's 40-0, Hand in the second quarter. Next drive, Jesse Lutz is 5'4" and doesn't care. He goes right into the end zone for a 48-0 advantage for the Hand Tigers. This is getting crazy. Again, like I said, they believe they're probably the best team in the state, and McCabe thinks he's one of the best runners in the state. He had 99 yards and 3 touchdowns. There's one of his 3. The Hand defense might be the scariest. They buried this team. 11 yards total rushing tonight for Law. I mean, Hand was all over the place. A 68-0 rout for Hand over Law. They'll go to Cheshire next week and try to continue that unbeaten season, while Law will travel against Guilford, go back home to take on the Indians. All right, huge matchup in the Pequot Conference. 5-0 Valley trying to defend the hill against Cromwell Portland, who was upset last Saturday at Old Saybrook, and they came out like they remembered that with their playoff lives on the line tonight. Bryce Carstetter, man, can this kid sling it. A missile shot right there to Devin Killam, who kills him. And then a few plays later, Brian Lockwood gonna muscle his way into the end zone. Cromwell Portland up 7-0 on the road. Later on, Valley trying to get something going on offense. And when you hold the ball this long as a quarterback, sometimes things can get a little funky and a little haywire, and they come out here and things tend to go wrong. A tipped pass, and bingo, right to Kevin Hinkle, who gets the interception. Cromwell is in business again. Second quarter, the second of the game here in the end zone for Lockwood. Cromwell would not score again until overtime. That's right. It was tied at 14 at the end of regulation. Valley with a nice comeback, but Cromwell was able to put it in the end zone as Bryce Carstetter with the game winner in overtime to give the Panthers a huge victory on the road at Valley. They'll be playing against Morgan next week, while Valley is now on the outside looking in this Class S playoff race. It doesn't get any easier. They take on a tough Rockville team next week. Guys, back to you.
Well done, Dan. I want to show you this. Naugatuck student Avery Moore was in a serious car accident in August, had surgeries on his spine. Doctors thought he might not walk again. Well, here he is, walking out with the team captains to do the coin toss before the game against Torrington tonight. What a great gesture by the Greyhounds. And a great way to start this game, and the Greyhounds keep it going. Torrington to punt. Oh, right into the hands of Michael Netkeel. How often do you see a number 52 get in the end zone with a touchdown? Now the Greyhounds kick it. Torrington has to punt. Could it happen 2 times? Mark? Oh, yes, it did. Netkeel didn't get in. He just got to the goal line. It didn't much matter because Malachi Gaddison takes it in on the next play. 13-0 at that point. Naugatuck goes on to win it 55-0. Good one next week. Greyhounds get Seymour. By the way, Naugatuck has outscored opponents 330-19. 5 shutouts on the season.
A powerful squad in Naugatuck for sure. We're going to take a quick water break. When we come back, we're going to find out whether Bradford or Amity, for the first time in a long time, has won a 5th game in a season. Highlights coming up. Big ball game in Glastonbury. Here come the Tomahawks taking on 5-1 New Britain. Last time we saw the Golden Hurricanes, well, how do you do? There were no handshakes. Lesson well learned for the Golden Hurricanes. Glastonbury with a lesson here in kicking from junior Ryan Smith. A 35-yarder. Tomahawks with a 3-0 lead until New Britain tailback Sean Robinson decided to steal the show, or at least run over people. Big day for this senior tailback. 15 yards there, leading to this touchdown run, and Robinson and the Golden Hurricane running through over and around Glastonbury. A 44-10 win for the Golden Hurricane. Now 6-1, heading into a showdown with East Hartford next Friday night. How about that one?
Hey, Fairfield Prep having some fun tonight at Hamden. There's the Green Dragons coming onto the field, looking for an upset, not to happen. First possession for Prep. John Irapoli goes deep. Max McGillicuddy is there for the touchdown reception. It's a 40-yard play, and Prep is off and running. Next possession, in fact, they're doing it again. Irapoli, nice pass, finding Finn Duran in the end zone. Good concentration there. Prep up 14-0 after that 20-yard play. In the second quarter now, Prep goes up 21-0, and Irapoli passes deep to Duran again. He makes the catch, and he's going to run the rest of the way in. That's a 50-yard play. It's 28-0. Prep still adding on 30 seconds before the half. Irapoli, who just had himself a game, throws deep to Max McGillicuddy again. This is a 70-yard touchdown run. So Prep starting to really put things together here as we head toward the tail end of the season. 35-0 is the final. It's their second consecutive shutout. Beat Xavier 34-0 last week. That's 4 wins in a row now for the Jesuits. They're going to take on Harding at home next week. Hamden will play Xavier on the road.
Bradford at Amity. Somebody's going to 5-2. Spartans with a 3-0 lead first quarter until Sean Kelly finds Christopher Boughton. And just like that, Brantford's got the lead at 7-3. Amity will try to respond in kind. Looking deep. And watch Robert Lionetti for Brantford. He muscled it away on the ground, comes up with a big interception, and that turnover leads to this. Kelly on the Kelly keeper, 14-3. Brantford, 28-14. Yes, it is Brantford that is 5-2, going on to take on Sheehan in 2 weeks. Amity hosts Shelton next Friday.
Time to check in a little action from the FCAC. For that, we bring in one of our Sacred Heart University contributors, Anthony Del Vecchio. What do you have, Anthony?
Guys, I have the battle of the 500. Marks likes to say the battle of the unbeatens, the battle of the 500s between Danbury and Norwalk. People looking for that fourth win on the season, both teams 3-3, and will take you now to the second half of the game. Danbury down by 1.76, but they will go to their running back, their captain, Jack Pompey, who finds the lane and drives down into the red zone. And once he's there, guess what? They'll just hand it to him again. He'll do the same thing, little whoop right there, find the little lane, and gets in, makes it 14-7, or it would be 14 after this 2-point conversion goes through. And Danbury now puts themselves at 14-7. Norwalk's defense, though, makes a huge fumble recovery and ties it at 14-14, you see. So Danbury now having to go to another running back called Malik Thomas, getting close to 70, 80 yards, makes one move there, and you are not going to stop him. Electric goes all the way, makes it 21-14, and then Norwalk just trying to get themselves back into the game. Crowd was trying to help, but the ball comes loose after a mad QB scramble. Both teams looking for it. I can't find it, but Danbury finds it and runs it all the way back for their own fumble touchdown. They will score, and they will go on to win the game 35-21, breaking 500, going 4-3 now on the season. They will take on New Canaan next, and Danbury, looking to continue its winning ways, will take on Fairfield. Norwalk is now taking on New Canaan. Danbury will continue the winning ways and look for Fairfield Ludlow next week. Guys, back to you.
All right, Anthony, well done. We'll keep it in the FCAC. An afternoon game, 2:15, Trinity Catholic at Westhill. The all-Stanford matchup. Westhill Vikings looking for their second one of the season. Trinity gets first. And Trinity looking good. Michael Barrett, nice spin move. Oh, he's not going to go all the way. He gets the ball inside the 10-yard line after the 42-yard pickup, and it sets up the touchdown. Quarterback Sam Pangiero to Chris Amboise. touchdown. 6-0 Trinity. Trinity playing some D2. Tough to throw on them this afternoon. 3 first-half interceptions. Evan Field gets that one right there, and it sets up Taj Morgan. Taj Morgan looking to go the other way. Watch the cutback moves he makes. There's one. He gets into a little traffic. You are not going to arm tackle this kid. You got to lay a body on him. He spins out of another would-be tackle. 55 yards. He goes in for the score. And Trinity Catholic gets its first win of the season. 22-7. How about that? Crusaders get the win. We'll get defending state champ Killingly next week at home in Stamford. Westhill gets Trumbull next week.
More Friday natural lighting. Brookfield at Notre Dame of Fairfield. And here comes Brookfield's Trevor Sterry to Gavin Borges. Big time gain for the Bobcats. A couple of plays later. It's Connor McVeigh. Oi! Vay. Zin. Bobcats take a 7-0 lead. Now, Brookfield's going to mix it up a little bit. Here's Jack Mix. Breaking out on a massive run. He'll take it down to the 10. That'll set up yet another score. Brookfield goes on to a big victory. The Bobcats win it 41-20 over the Lancers. Brookfield now, Noah, 5-1 on the season.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have another unbeaten team putting its record on the mark. Plus, we're going to check out some more action from the NBL when we return. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Blue Dragons of Middletown, and what a night for Juwan Lamoti, already with a touchdown before we pick things up in the first quarter. Here goes Lamoti. His second score of the night, 14-0, Middletown leading Newington. And then next possession, Lamoti again, this time a 21-yard jaunt. He's got 3 touchdowns. You know what? 4's a nice even number. Why don't we give it to Lamoti again and don't make him run that far? A 1-yard plunge. Lamoti with 4 touchdowns. Middletown romps, shuts out Newington. 42-0 the final, Noah.
Middletown staying undefeated. How about that? All right, how about Derby and Seymour? They head up Wildcat Way for this one. Wildcats up 27-12. Derby had just scored. Well, here's how Seymour responds. Tyler Ganem, who already had a couple touchdown runs, he takes the kickoff, makes a couple moves. Boy, he is slippery. Look how quick on his feet he is. 75 yards he's going, and he's going to outrun these final 2 defenders on the play, and he's in for the score. So then Seymour kicks the ball off. Derby fumbles the kickoff, so Seymour takes it over. You give it right back to Ganem, and he's going 43 yards for the touchdown. Watch his final cutback move he makes here. He had 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns today, and Seymour goes on to win it 57-12. Seymour now 6-1, very much in the playoff hunt. Has Naugatuck next week. All right, how about Wilby at Holy Cross? Halftime Holy Cross students, part of a touching tribute to all associated with the school affected by cancer. Second half, Holy Cross up 20-0. Wilby on a comeback, nice pass connection. I thought it was a touchdown. They said no, mark down at the goal line, and that was a bummer for Wilby. Just a couple plays later, that wasn't a catch, it wasn't a tackle, it was a pick. Vin Graziano with the interception at the goal line, and 99 yards, he's going the other way. So we'll be that close to getting a touchdown? No, it turns out to be a touchdown the other way for Holy Cross. May have taken the wind out of Wilby's sails. Alessandro Ward just running all over the place. You cannot ankle tackle that guy, or I don't know, maybe you can. He picks up some big yardage there, and it sets up this. The trick play. Nobody expected the left guard, number 51, Matt Judson, to get the handoff, but he does, and he goes in untouched for the score. A lineman's dream. 44-6 is the final. Holy Cross now 5-2. We'll get Torrington next week. All right, how about Waterbury Career at Oxford? The Wolverines fired up, and, well, they look good on the second drive of the game. Going to air it out. Caden Mitchell to Jared Patanella. Beautiful pass, 43 yards. After a 2-point conversion, it's 8-0. Career trying to get back in it. You know, they tell defensive players, watch the quarterback's eyes, and that's what linebacker Antonio Fernandez does here. He gets the pick, 70 yards on the return the other way. Oh, man, a linebacker's dream. Final 50-6, Oxford now 3-4. Going to get that Sacred Heart Caner co-op next week. Waterbury Career will get Wolken.
All right, for more highlights, not Noah, not me, but the sultry tones of one Ryan Sanudo, one of our student contributors from here at Sacred Heart. Hi, Ryan.
Hey, Mark. Now I have for you New Fairfield at Weston. Now, New Fairfield, they lost a close game last week, 10-7 against Brookfield. They're going to be the underdogs against Weston, so they definitely want to rebound from that game last week. Now, New Fairfield, they were out and running the entire night. Zachary Buffington, the captain, he has open space, and he scores for the 37-yard touchdown. This time, it's quarterback William Enright being elusive. This was a track meet for the Rebels, and they go up 2 scores. Next drive for the Rebels. Up the gut is the plan, and Buffington, he accepts the challenge. I know someone hits the weight room. New Fairfield, they go up 18-0. And let's not forget about New Fairfield's defense in this game. Great read by Liam Ford, and he wants the pick 6, but he gets tackled at the 6-yard line, and that's going to set up a good old quarterback sneak, and that gets the job done. William Enright with his 2nd touchdown of the game. New Fairfield, they end up shutting out Weston by the score of 31-0, and they definitely have to feel about this. They have to feel very good about this game, guys. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Ryan. Let's take a look at a bunch of bouncing Bobcats from Bacon Academy taking on the Whippets of Windham. First quarter for Bacon, Terrence Janak. He has the knack of finding some space and scoring from 26 yards out. 7-0 Bacon. Second quarter, they got another kid that can run. John Michael Murray. I mean, watch this move. He was so good, too, at One Tree Hill. And then he breaks loose for a 62-yard touchdown, John. A 14-0 lead for the Bobcats, but then the big fella, Nathaniel Barbosa Torres. And he's big enough to have all 3 names. 6'3", 237. Touchdown number 1. Touchdown number 2. And it was a 2-point Windham lead. Here comes Michael Murray making a 2016 Bacon early fourth quarter. But then Barbosa Torres. How big is he? You judge for yourself. He's coming right at you. Big and friendly. 206 yards, 3 touchdowns. The Whippets win it 30-20.
Yeah, they whipped it good. All right, well done. We're going to take a quick break, but still more to come here on CT Sports Now. We'll be right back. Just enough time for our play of the night, and well, it's play of Tyler Ganem. 5 touchdowns, including this touchdown return for the Seymour Wildcats, as Seymour knocks off Derby today, 57-12. Ganem showing all sorts of skills and speed, outrunning defenders, making great moves. 5 touchdowns in Seymour's victory. There you have it, our play of the night.
Ganem running so close to the elections.
And we are running out of time. We'll say goodnight and wish everybody a happy and safe weekend. Good night.